Going in, I'm showing y'all how I make my parts with thicker hair. So yes, he has a pretty good thick grade of hair. So first I go in with the rat tail of my comb, and I go in and I'll make that part so it's not like I'm digging through his scalp with the comb. Then I go back through and I clean it up with the point of the comb. And as always, I am using Braid Twist Lock braiding gel to clean up my parts and also to do my twists. So yes, you're going to make your part as neat as possible, making sure it won't be crooked and that it matches up to both sides. So you want it to match up to quadrant 1 and quadrant 4. I parted his hair in 4 quadrants. That way I can do the face shaping and it could fall correctly into his face. So yes, just like any other video that I have a tutorial on extensions on, I'm going in and I am parting out the section that I want to use. And yes, I am going straight in. Since his hair is shorter, I don't want to instant lock his hair first. I want to go in and I want to build the lock with his hair. So I go in and I use my 3-prong needle, and I am twisting as I go. As I am crocheting his hair, I am making sure I'm rotating my pointer finger, my middle finger, and my thumb all at the same time, all the way until I make it to the end. Right here is kind of like I'm at a distance, but wait a minute. I'm going to zoom on in for y'all so I can show y'all exactly what I'm doing. So when you're crocheting, you want to make sure you're making it as tight as possible. The reason why you want to get it tight as possible because you want to make sure you have that lock locked in with their natural hair. So as I'm going in with my 3-prong needle, I am taking the time. As I'm building that lock, I am going back up and down that lock to make sure it's tight as I can get it. You want to roll your index and your thumb. I know I repeat myself saying that a lot, but that is very important. You want to roll your index finger and your thumb to make sure that lock is formed and it is tight. As you get towards the end, you always want to measure the size of the lock. This install is 6 to 8 inches in various lengths. It makes a bowl shape around his face, so it makes a natural fall. This is a natural lock extension install. Once I get to the tips, I start to round it. And as I round it, I add the hair if I need to add. If I don't need to add, I take my hand and I roll the end piece of the lock up and I round it off so the lock has a natural round look and doesn't look too frizzy and doesn't look funny or bulky at the end. And I'm also making sure I do that tight as possible also because you don't want that to unravel at all. So once you're done with that, you should literally feel how tight the lock eventually will be. As you start to wash and retwist locks, the extensions, they will get soft in the beginning. The first about 3 months, they start off soft. When they start to mature and as their hair starts to mature, the lock starts to harden. And it goes through the same process as the natural hair doing it this way. So the reason why I do this method is because I like to call it the illusion method. It actually tricks the hair in your hair to lock the same size because you're literally matching up size by size. So once again, I am repeating the same method. I am going in and I'm adding the hair to the base of this extension, of the hair, and I am creating that extension. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all my information. My booking link will be in the bio. I am located in Pantego, Texas, which is 2 minutes away from Arlington, Texas, and 2 minutes away from Fort Worth, Texas. So I am in the DFW area of Texas. I am 20 minutes away from the DFW airport for those who are wanting to travel to me. My Instagrams are Queens Luxury by Bree. And that's QueensLuxuryByree. And my other Instagram is QBXOXO_. I also can be found on Facebook at Brianna Ayers. That is BREANNAAYERS. I do require a deposit when you're booking an appointment. It depends on what you're getting done. It varies from $15 to $600, and that's all depending on what you're getting done. And I can be reached via phone number, which is 682-465-8592, which, please, I'd rather you text me, because if I'm with a client, I kind of don't like to stop, because my installs, if I'm doing an extension install, it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, and I have a child that's in school, so I kind of want to actually work, and I procrastinate a little bit. So if you text me, I will get to you as soon as I can. If I need to have further sit down, I would take no longer than 24 hours to give you a response. So yes, back to this install. Once again, I always, if the hair is anything shorter than 5 inches, I do not build this lock itself, and that's because as I retwist the hair, the lock will build. I leave about that 3 inches, because when we remove them, they'll have a little natural look to their lock, which with men, if he wants me to lock it up with my instant lock needle, I can, and if he was a woman, it will have a curl look to it depending on their hair texture. Once again, I'm just adding the hair to build the lock. You want to make sure the lock feels round and firm. Every extension should feel like a natural lock. So what I always do is I always remember what the healthiest locks I've touched felt like. If my extension does not feel like that, I don't feel like that extension is finished. An extension should have, when you building it, before you wet them down, it should have a hard feel. Once you wet them down, you should be able to feel that they have a hollow middle. The reason why you want them to have a hollow middle is because over time an extension is supposed to build up, natural buildup. So there's a difference. There's bad buildup and there's natural buildup. Natural buildup is what builds your lock. If that lock doesn't build up, that natural buildup, it will not combine with your hair. Some people want to keep their lock extensions permanently. I have a client, she's been having them almost 3 years now, and she has no problem with her extensions. So yes, this video I'm actually giving y'all a little breakdown, showing y'all actually how I go in and I actually do it. So if there's any questions, y'all can ask in the comments. I'm free to answer them. I do offer classes. I haven't had any in a minute, but you can contact me for those classes. Everything is provided for those classes when I do have them, and they're one-on-one classes. I prefer to use a 3-prong needle over any other needle when it comes to building an extension, because I feel like it gets it tighter. When I use a 1-prong needle, I am crochet maintaining roots, and I just feel like it gives a better sleek look when it comes to that. So here's the finished look. I popped on this install. By far one of my favorites. I have many favorite installs, but this one, he asked and I delivered. This install looks so natural on him and it fits him so well. Each lock has probably a different length, but I'm finna show y'all how it matched up. So I procrastinated on this video a little bit, like I do most of them. I'm going to get better. It's taking time. But his install was in August. He just had a retwist in September. So yeah, let's get into the retwist, because clearly this install, once I sprayed these locks down, the stiffness went away, and oh my gosh, they were so beautiful. Look at this. These extensions are everything, and that parting, oh my gosh, yes. So yes, here's that retwist I was telling y'all about, and this time he went with 2-strand style. Look at that.